Today we are looking at long division. There are 4 steps to long division. We kind of can remember this as an acronym, DMSB. So some people do dad, mom, sister, brother, but they stand for divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. But you can kind of like we did for north, south, east, west, you can make up your own acronyms to help you remember the steps of long division. So next, if we look at a problem from your worksheet on Monday, we're taking 8 and we're dividing it by 96. So the whole goal is to take that 96 and break it up into 8 equal groups, and we want to know how many are in those groups, in those individual groups. So we're dividing by 8, so we can use our multiplication table and we can look in our 8's column. So if we highlight our 8's column, our goal is to get as close to 96 without going over. So if we look in our 8's column, how close can we get to the number 96 without going over? 12. If we multiply by 12, we get 96. So we put our 12 on top. And we can check our work by going 12 times 8 equals 96. We subtract, we see we have 0 remainders. If we look at the problem underneath that, we're taking 6 and dividing it by 966. So our multiplication table does not go up that high. So we are going to break our number down a little smaller. So we can just start by looking at the 9 in our hundredths place and think to ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 9 without going over? So we'll look back at our multiplication table and we'll look in our 6 column. We can think to ourselves, how many times does 6 go into 9 without going over 9? So we can see that 6 goes into 9 one time. So there's our division part, our D. So we put our 1 up top. And we can go 1 times 6 equals 6, which goes under our 9. That's our multiplication part. Now we need to subtract, so 9 minus 6 equals 3. And then we have to bring down our 6. So now we're looking at 6 and dividing up 36. We're breaking that 966 down to smaller, easier, workable numbers. So if we look back in our 6 column, we want to get as close to 36 as we can without going over. And I see the closest I can get to 36 is 36. And I multiply by 6. So we've done our divide. Now we're going to put our 6 on top of our house. And then we will go 6 times 6, which equals 36. And then we can subtract and finally bring down our final 6. And we already know that 1 times 6 equals 6, so 6 goes into 6 one time, and we have 0 remainders.